Okay, so it's really weird to think about this and also to finally hit the day. So, for the last almost year and a half, I've been going to, in essence, a vocational school and doing it on a, well, yeah. So, been going to a vocational school, and it's really weird to think that I'm going in for my last day. And here I am, and I kind of can't believe the day is actually happening. And I've been trying to prepare to be able to, hit the ground running or whatever with other things as I was coming up to today. And I still feel vastly unprepared and inadequate for, just trying to start off next week on a, high clip. And I think part of that is just due to the fact that some things that I've kind of been put off or allowed myself to forget about, and then other things I've been trying to do, and I just haven't gotten to doing some of those things. It's just really weird to sit here and think that I'm there, but I don't know what to do about it. And there are a couple options that I've been weighing out, different things. I've had a business registered, done a bunch of stuff for some of that, but I still haven't done everything apparently, because when you're going to some companies trying to do subcontracting, they expect certain things that I haven't done as of yet. And so I've got to work out some other details in order to be able to get that going, which would provide a good source of income, even if it's somewhat sporadic, so that I can get more material or, save money for recertifying and things like that, or even to get new certifications. So it kind of turns into this thing of, well, I would have loved to keep the gravy train going, but the gravy train ended 2-3 months ago. And so here I am trying to figure out how to start another gravy train running. And it's been interesting because of time restraints and trying to get other things done as well on top of it. And somewhat trying to stay regularly in doing these videos that there are some cases where I've been really bad at because of different life things going on. But I sit here and think about it, and it's like I'm driving now to go, and after this, it's basically done. And so in order to figure out good excuses to go places and do other things and to have the money to do it, is trying to work that out can be kind of difficult, because you don't always know. And it's like, well, you should just get a job. It's like, well, most jobs won't pay you $50 an hour for your skill set. Whereas if you go the different route of subcontracting out, you have a bit more leeway. Yes, there are certain things that you have to take into account for business expenses, saving back some of the money for business, and making sure that you have the funds that you need there for possibly even going further, furthering education and things like that could reasonably be covered by a business expense. And so you end up paying yourself less than what you're charging because of those considerations, and also getting material items for future work so that you can have the materials to do even more jobs that you can be called out on and be able to provide that service on top of it. So there's some upfront cost of like initially getting certain things like liability and things like that, but then there's the later on costs that you have to think about. And again, that's something that you have to think about, holding back those some of that money in order to be able to pay for the liability or other insurances the next month, or in about 6 months or less from wherever you're getting that check from. And I just, there's a part of me that doesn't know how I would do it, and then there's a part of me that's like, I've got a whole bunch of options that are readily at my fingertips that I could take advantage of. And now here I am. Again, it's weird to think about and to parse through, but it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. And yes. I've got a business. I primarily want to do like consulting, cybersecurity or IT consulting. But there's also the other options of doing technician type work. But for some reason, sitting down and talking to people about what they should do to secure their systems better pays more than walking around and pulling cable everywhere. So there are a couple preferences, less time needed to make more money. But anyway, yeah, that's a lot of stopping and not talking. But it's just kind of some of my thoughts on the path forward. Of course, I want to keep doing video stuff so that I can keep up on that, because some of the things will play into some of the future content as well. Of course, as I've stated back at the beginning of the year, that some of that stuff from school will play into some of the other content that I do, and the need to stay up on some of that news is important for consulting for IT, cybersecurity, and so on in the same vein. So it's kind of a twofold thing. I get to dispense of information and distill it to you, and that helps me in other work as well. So, and along with that, I also still get, trying to stream and things like that, so I can work out my schedule more flexibly and hopefully be able to keep that up depending on what happens. Or I can come back to it at a different time, because as a W-9 or 1099, you've got a little bit more flexibility with how you work things versus your typical W-2 whatever employees. There's this perfect screenshot of a text message chain that I saw on Twitter a few days ago that just explains it perfectly, where this guy is a subcontractor for a company, and he makes the comment on posting the screenshot like, one of the best things about being a 1099 is the creative, or subcontractors, the creative ways you get to tell people off. And so he's basically being harassed by this manager from the company he's contracted with currently about not attending employee meetings. And so this manager's like, hey, you weren't at the mandatory meeting. All employees are required to be there. It's like, oh, that's wonderful. You have fun with that. It's a good thing I'm not an employee. It's like, call me. It's like, no. you kind of get those things. It's like if you don't do this, you're not coming back in, and then it's like, well, that's fine. I'm still contracted to be paid through like such and such a date. So even if I stay home, you're still paying me. And it's things like that. If you write your contract out right and outline it just right, then you get all kinds of different benefits with it and flexibility that would otherwise not be available as an employee, because you don't sometimes it seems like you don't have as much negotiating power when you're going on as an employee versus a subcontractor. As a subcontractor, it's like, well, yes, I have the expertise, and so these are my terms and what I charge and this, that, the other. And for a business, it makes sense to hire a subcontractor because it looks better on taxes, and you don't have to think about withholding taxes for another employee. You are doing a business-to-business transaction, and someone else has to take care of tax withholdings and things like that for the government to steal money out of someone else's income. So you don't have to think about that. You don't have to pay someone else to think about that. And it's beautiful. But yeah. Again, thoughts, stream of things. It's weird to think about. And I'll probably be putting this video together in about half an hour. And I don't know, it'll probably take shorter to render anyway. So, and now I'm just rambling. And yeah. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.